Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, the reunion part 2. You know what, I'm going to start by saying this really could have been done in just one fell swoop, and we could have been done with this. But let me grab something that I kind of left off of the first video. Sincere. They didn't actually pull Sincere up on stage and really, I mean, he was up there, but they didn't really talk to him. He's ridiculous. And I looked at him and I kept saying, who does this fucker look like? And you know what? He was giving me very Prince of the Revolution and no. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, that's just who the fuck he looked like. He is absolutely ridiculous with his old opinionated ass. He has so many opinions about folks and how they looked and all this, and you sitting up there looking like a backup for the motherfucking Control video. Go sit down some damn where. And then that whole thing with Maul and Young Berg, I didn't understand. Well, I didn't understand why they didn't seem to get so hyped up that one of them actually needed to leave. I know they sent Berg out at one point, and then when we came back, Molly was gone. So I don't know what Mona was doing with that, but hell, I don't know. Maybe Molly has people disappear. You know, that type of shit goes down. But anyway, and ain't nobody gonna miss Berg, no way, that little goddamn gnome. But funny as hell, he did actually call that motherfucker Uncle Fester, and I about pissed on myself. He is horrible. He's weird looking. I don't get that Nikki. Nikki's just crazy. She's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. Her mammy was ridiculous. I was glad they sent her old ass. I guess the Access van came to pick her up, and they sent her ass on. But Nikki, the whole fact that she even wants to be with Molly Maul is ridiculous, and that just sets her over there. She's an idiot. Hazel's an idiot, you know, and the more she kept, because the Masika and Nikki thing is just ridiculous. Nikki was steadily trying to make a case of it's like, what is it? I mean, she slept with your man, but he wasn't really your man, you know, because you don't want to look bad. So you say, he wasn't my man at the time. So why are you mad, honey? If he wasn't your man at the time, why are you mad? Why do you have a part in that whole situation? So I just got tired of hearing her. She got on my nerves with this keep getting up. Let me show you what perfection looks like. And this, that, and the other, keep standing up, showing that big old ass. You look ridiculous, bitch. You look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, especially from behind. And then when you turn around, them big old red lips, girl, if you don't go jump up on somebody's roof and hush up, just ridiculous. And just keep getting up and keep getting up and keep getting up and turning around. What is it? Everybody's not fascinated by that big old ass. It looks ridiculous. It looks absolutely ridiculous. I didn't get her. She was ridiculous. She don't need to come back, you know, because I done had enough of her with her whole fake face. Just fake. Fiberglass Lucy, honey. That's her. Then we went on to, they go into this Monise and Amanda thing. And, you know, that Amanda's just downright ugly. She's not a pretty girl to me. She really isn't. To me, she's not pretty. She's funny looking. She had a funny look to her. She's kind of hard looking. Monise, on the other hand, is actually a gorgeous girl. Crazier than a motherfucker, but she's a gorgeous girl. Monise handled herself very well at the reunion. With explaining herself. She really was pretty ladylike. Her mouth was a little bit rough, but you know, when Mona was saying, girl, your calmness is scary. Okay, so respect it and shut the fuck up. And don't get in my lane. Now, I lived for all that. Now, as a mother, the bitch is a classic fail. She's ridiculous when it comes to that baby and all that acting and being crazy. But she basically told a man to just write, you know, bitch, you talk to me real crazy, and bitch, I just introduce you to my crazy. And she did yank the shit out of her. But her and Fizz, I guess it looks like her and Fizz is trying to be together now. They don't need to come back either. They really don't. They don't need to come back either. They're ridiculous. Why do we need to spend 10 minutes on Omarion circumcision? I'm sick of his little dick and all that talk about his little ding dong. It's just ridiculous. You know, and then his mother's up there. That whole thing, to me, still seems very fake. When I look at her, she was a little more cleaned up. She looked like she's probably through maybe I don't know, maybe 5 steps or 6 steps in her 10 step. So, maybe she's feeling a little better about her little self and everything. But, I ain't buying it. Either you really didn't not like April, or you're faking at liking her now. It's one of those two. And I believe that she's faking at really liking her. I believe when the show wraps and all, that bitch is going to give April the motherfucking blues just like she was. I believe in my soul that nasty bitch we saw in the beginning, that is her. That is how she feels. Omarion is to do what I need done and what I say do and fuck this whore as she sees her as competition. And I believe that I believe is the real Leslie. That crackish foolishness. I believe that's her every day. So anyway, moving on. Morgan, that whole thing with Morgan, I didn't like Morgan. I said Morgan was a little shady and she was doing a whole lot too much. She was doing a whole lot too much. But I didn't think she kind of deserved kind of what she got. With that, it was a lot. It was all over the place. You know what I mean? It was really all over the place. Nikki backed out of what she said. She said, me and Nikki squashed our beef. Nikki act like, I don't know what you're talking about, bitch. Fuck you, Nikki, because we don't trust you, bitch, because you don't tell the truth. And you don't come and be real. So I believe that they had a conversation. You know what I mean? And, she's backing out of it, trying to be sharp. Everybody was jumping on the Ray J band. They really were. I just didn't get it. And then this is the part right here that got me. I was leaving Ray J alone. I hadn't really bothered Ray J too much in this whole thing. But Ray, bitch, you're out of order. He literally reverted all the way back to the way he was acting at the beginning of the season when he was pissing me off. When he turned his ass around there to that motherfucking greasy head ass goddamn princess and told her, I want you to just pop her one good time. And that bitch got up and went over there to fight Morgan. Mona, I don't know what you got going on, baby, but now we're going to talk about what's right and what's wrong. At that fucking point that little bastard told that goon to get up and go over there and jump on that girl and that bitch did it, Ray J and Princess need their motherfucking checks pulled. Don't neither one of them need to come back. They need to be F.I. red. Both of them. They both need fired. The boldness, we're already sitting here talking about how we don't condone violence and this, that, and the other. And this motherfucker sat here and told her to go jump on that girl. She went to jump on her and he jumped in front of motherfucking security to make sure she had a chance to get to her. They need to be fired. They need to be totally off of the motherfucking payroll. And that's just what's right. That's just what's right. Because the way that went down wasn't cool at all. The security rushed, Ray J jumped up and stood in front of the security, so they had to get him out of the way to be able to get to old simple ass Princess. And Morgan was ready for her, but the motherfucking security knocked Morgan down. There was 2 coming her way and 2 coming Princess's way. And the security tried to get in the middle and they knocked Morgan down. That's how Princess was able to get a couple hits in on her. And that's why she's punching the motherfucking doors and shit. Because I believe, take them gowns off, that'd have been a good motherfucking rumble. It really would have been. And I'm not sad because I don't like Morgan and I don't like Princess. But I'm talking about what's right and what's wrong. Princess and Ray J should be fired. If the show comes back at all, Princess and Ray J should be fired. Ray J should be fired. Princess can't be there without Ray J because who gives a fuck about the bitch? But I didn't like that. I didn't like how that went down at all. And as a man, really? Really? You just literally just turn the like you have a Tasmanian devil. You just sicked her on her and carried on. That was really shady. I didn't like that. I don't know what Mona's going to do, but I'm going to be looking, Mona, to see what decision you make about that. If that show come back, honey, that motherfucker Ray J don't need to be on it. Not at all. Not at all. That was so shady. So shady. Now, what was this business with Berg saying Tiarra gave him head? You know what? I don't believe that. And I'm just going to go right on out there with that. I don't believe that. She said she kissed him. I was very disappointed. Very disappointed because that was very slut-like, Tiarra. You know, I've been in your corner from the beginning. That was very slut-like, very hoe-like, very tramp-esque. You know, you had no business doing that. I wouldn't give a fuck because you're not done being friends with Hazel and you ain't got no business fucking around on her leftovers. So I didn't care for that. You were absolutely the fuck out of order with that bullshit. But I don't believe that you gave him head in no car and no alley. I don't believe that. Now, I do believe you sent him the masturbating video. I definitely believe that you sent him a video of you playing with the little man in the boat. I believe that because y'all kids think that's cute. So I believe you did that, but I don't believe you sucked no dick, not no car. You might have sucked some dick somewhere else. But as mad as she got and how she jumped up to fight, I'm going to say I don't believe she sucked him off. I really don't. But oh yeah, you masturbated. I believe your fingers was dirty, baby. I really do. And then when Hazel goes backstage and start crying again, shut your motherfucking ugly ass up, bitch. Be over it and move on. She just is simple. Soulja Boy and Nia, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck, really? I mean, I already told you all, I didn't want to see y'all no more. They didn't even have to show up for the motherfucking reunion. They're just ridiculous. The Nia did look nice, though. She looked nice. She looked really mature. She looked real mature. Soulja Boy looked like he needed a bath as usual. And I'm leaving out of this because it was really, I mean, it was just, we didn't have to do two parts of this. But I will give you this. The funniest on here that they had said that I caught at the end, that motherfucking Masika and Nikki, when Nikki told that motherfucking Masika, bitch, I got heels higher than your self-esteem. I about pissed on myself. I thought that was funny as hell. Masika is an opportunist. Masika is a tramp and a hoe and all those various things. But she handled herself very well. Nobody can get it. And they talking shit. That motherfucking wig she had on that bitch's hair was so motherfucking cold. Y'all couldn't get it. Nikki, I don't know which. Girl, you clowning. Nikki looked like a motherfucking wildebeest. Just as hairy across here, baby, with that, got that motherfucking lace front patted down and macked down. And it's probably just as hard all up in here. Girl, you look ridiculous. You couldn't get with Masika's motherfucking wig. Masika's wig was the shit. So go ahead with that, Nikki. You look ridiculous. Masika looked good. She really did. You can't take that away. It is what it is. That bitch was done. She was done. So, you know, they don't need to come back either. Molly Mom, they send them back to the damn circus. It just, I don't know. I don't know where that show's going to do. They are going to have to do a revamping if they decide to come back. And I mean, I'm for Tiarra. Tiarra, you know, she's the only one that really was showing some business. And doing to her and Berg, they're the only ones that really was showing something about making some money. And Omarion started up some things at the end, but he's boring, you know. So I don't know. They're going to have to do an overhaul of the whole program to be able to bring it back. And then you see they kept doing the message because after it all went down, all the arguing and the fight, Berg beat the motherfucking shit out of Masika. And, you know, so really, was it really all worth it? You did all that arguing for 2 hours? Well, it was probably about 8 or 9 or 10 hours to get that footage. And then y'all went out that night and he beat your motherfucking ass? So who won? Mona Scott Young. That's who won. See you guys next time. Thumbs up or thumbs down the video. Y'all know how that works. And I'll catch you guys on the next part of this Love and Hip Hop franchise. Look for the reviews. I'll be reviewing. See you guys later. Bye.